Hey everybody, how's it going? My name is Gareth Booth, and I'm going to show you how to take Illustrator artwork and extrude it in Cinema 4D. So let's get started straight away on it. So we go to Illustrator, we're going to navigate to our file we want to extrude. I'm going to work with the MLB logo here. So what you want to do is, once your artwork's, you're happy with it and you want to start extruding, you go to Save As, and I'm going to overwrite the file I have here. And this is the important part. When it comes up and asks you what version you want to do, you're going to want to choose Illustrator 8 and click OK. Now we're going to switch over to Cinema 4D, and we're going to go to File and Open, and then you'll navigate to your file, your Illustrator file, and click Open on it, and there you go. You got a 3D logo, sort of. What we're going to want to do here is we've got a few different components. We got basically a background, a blue and a red section to the logo. So I'm going to break these splines apart because right now they come in as one. So what you want to do is go to Function, and then you want to go to Explode Segments. And what that does is it opens that up, and now you can select each individual component by itself. Now for this particular logo, what we're going to want to do is connect this little round circle with the guy's head, because that's all going to be blue. So you just shift click to get them both, and we'll go back to Function and then choose Connect. And what that does is it creates another object that is just the circle and the guy's head. So we can delete the original ones because we're not going to need them, and if we do need them separately for whatever reason, we can just explode them again. Okay, so I'm going to name that blue just so we can remember. And, oops, blur, blue. And then I'm going to name this the background, BG. And then this other section is going to be red. Alright, so now what we're going to do is start extruding stuff. So click on the background. If you hold down Alt or Option, and just click on this HyperNurbs box here, and we go over to Extrude Nurbs, and what it does is it adds whatever we had option clicked directly into the box. So what we can do from there is just start adjusting things. So if we click on the actual background spline again, you can change the type of intermediate points. So you can change it to uniform, and in that case you'll have to up these segments a little bit. I usually like to leave it at adaptive and actually just turn this down to 0, and then you get a nice smooth edge. So you can do that to each of them if you want. It's up to you. Experiment with that, because sometimes depending on what the artwork is, you can get a better result with like uniform or something like that. And let's just add the extrude NURBS actually to the rest of these right now. So just again click on the spline and go Option or Alt or whatever it is on your computer. I'm using a Mac, so I'm going to be calling it Option. Then go to Extrude NURBS, and it adds it right there, and then do it to the red one as well, Extrude NURBS. Okay, so now you can't see anything, and what the hell, that's no good. So what we're going to do is I'm going to make the background, clicking on the Extrude NURBS, I'm going to make it half as thick as all the other ones, and you do that under Object here, and instead of 20 we're going to put it down to 10, so it's half as much, and then I'm going to move it in the Z-axis, which you can do by dragging this, or we can use math, I guess. So Z would be 5 to get it right in the middle there, in this particular case, but you know, just drag it around, do whatever you need to do, get it the way you like it. Now we're going to, again on the Extrude NURBS, under the attributes, we're going to click on caps, and we're going to add a fillet cap to the start and a fillet cap to the end. And you'll see what's happened here, it's kind of bloated it out. What we want to do is turn down the radius a bit, maybe go to 3 I guess, and we'll do the same for the back, 3. And then the number of segments, right now it's sort of a hard edge, but if you want to round that out, you can increase the number of steps, and that'll round it out quite a bit. So you know, we'll do 5 steps maybe for front and back. And I think I'm going to decrease the radius a little bit to maybe 1 actually on both sides. get a little bit of a tighter edge there. Okay, and I'm going to do that to the blue and to the red. So try and remember those, 5 and 1. So the blue, fillet cap, front and back. This is going to come up to 5 and go down to 1. Let's quickly do the rest of these. So there's our blue one, looking good. Oh, and here's something that came up. For some reason, this is not sent in the center. It could be the way I merged those two splines back together originally, but that's an easy fix. What we'll do is basically go into all views, alright, and then over on the side here, instead of being on this move tool or the selection tool or model tool, we'll go to the object axes tool, and we can basically move this around then so the center of the object can be adjusted. And this is great when you're modeling, actually, because then you can make it easier to pivot around certain points. So now we've got that, we can change back, and you see it's much easier because that object is now the center of things, so it's easier to navigate around it. So let's extrude the red. So fillet cap, and these get changed to, I think it was 1 and 5, 5, 1. There we go. Okay. So the last step now is we're just going to quickly put a pretty basic shader on these just so you can see some color on it, but we'll get into shading a little bit in more detail later. So just switch to Illustrator so we can get the right numbers. So we want 26, 80, and 125. So we'll just double click on the materials. 26, 80, and 125. Okay, I actually remember the numbers. So what you want to do now is just drag that to the blue extrude NURBS, and it will apply the texture to your object. And we'll just quickly do the red one so you can see it. So 231, 41, 86. So double click. 231, I think it was 41, 86. That looks pretty close. Okay, so drag that onto the red extrude NURBS, and there you have it. And if you just want to do a quick render, I'll get into rendering later, but if you just want to do a quick preview render, we can go ahead and just situate this and hit this button right here, and that'll preview render it. Gives you a quick view, and you can just click again. Oops. You can just click again in the viewport, and you can navigate around things. So that's the gist of that. So what we're going to do is later on, what I'm going to work towards is getting this sort of studio lit shot that you see on the desktop here, and see if we can't do that next time. Thanks for listening to the entire thing. Hopefully it wasn't too long for you. Give me your feedback. Let me know what you want to hear about or demonstrations you want to see, and let me know. Okay? Thanks. See ya.